Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. Entitled Coworker gets impatient and tries to do my job. A few years ago, I was working IT support and data analysis at a smallish company, approximately 50 people. I had gotten the job thanks to my father being the head of IT, and had spent the last few years trying to prove myself. And I generally liked my job, was good at it, and most people respected me. Even though I was young and looked younger, I had worked there longer than about half of the company because we recently expanded to double the number of employees. I was in charge of assigning laptops, among other things, and I was the first line of support if something techie went wrong. One of the newer employees was a multilingual sales guy I'll call Marty. Marty had a high opinion of himself and his own capabilities, including with technology. Instead of asking for help or resources from the IT team, he would rather look up problems himself and try to solve them, sometimes using free software downloads from random websites. You may think that this is good, less for me to worry about, but I liked helping people with their tech issues. And he had a knack for making things worse. He somehow managed to get a virus on his company MacBook, some tool that also happened to divert all his network activity to a random IP, a huge security issue. One day, Marty had a laptop problem that he couldn't solve. He didn't like it, but I told him he could either take it to an Apple store himself, it was under warranty, or I could reset it, but keep his files. He took a day to think about it and decided to let me reset his MacBook. I had informed him that I would have to perform a full backup, and this could take several hours, depending on how many files he had. So, I started the backup process in the morning and tried to go about the rest of my job. But Marty decided to park himself on a chair between me and my desk neighbor and watch the backup. It made me uncomfortable to have Marty in my personal space and sharing my desk with me. I told him he could still do a lot of his work via his phone, as other salespeople do when I work on their laptops. And in response, he asked if he could use my phone charger. I tried politely hinting at him to go find somewhere else to sit, but he didn't get it. So I straight up told him he was in my personal space and making me uncomfortable, and to go find somewhere else to be, and I'll inform him when the migration is done in a few hours. The backup took longer than expected due to the number of files Marty had. Marty had decided, rather than sitting at his own desk, he still wanted to hover nearby and was on his phone in the IT lounge area and making the people who work in that area slightly uncomfortable. The backup completed after lunch, and I had a meeting to attend with a VP before it finished. I rarely had meetings, and this one wasn't long, about half an hour. When I got back to my desk after the meeting to check the status of Marty's laptop, I saw that it was behaving unexpectedly, net booting. I asked my neighbor Victor if he had done this, and he told me no, but Marty had been at my desk while I was away at the meeting. My mind quickly filled in the blanks of what must have happened while I was away from my desk for just half an hour. Impatient Marty had come and wiped his hard drive, as according to what he had read online, I had done the full backup because it was policy and just in case. But I knew his problem would probably be solved if I reinstalled the OS but kept his files, and it would take less time too. But he had wiped everything and also managed to somehow wipe the recovery partition too. This man is dangerous, and I knew, thanks to a mistake I had made months before on a different laptop, that this job had gone from almost done to taking up to 12 more hours to complete. I was pissed that he somehow thought he could just walk all over my work. I was pissed that I would now have to work on this overnight because I don't want to keep him away from his laptop for more than a day. I angrily confirmed with Marty what he had done and informed him that he had had really messed up the laptop, and I definitely wasn't going to get it up and running today, but I was still angry. So I told my dad, the head of IT, what had happened, and he agreed that Marty had crossed the line. But I was still angry, so I told Marty's boss, the head of sales, what he had done. Marty had also talked to her, and she convinced me to lend him a spare laptop to use until I could finish fixing his. I confirmed with my dad that I would give him the oldest, clunkiest spare laptop on hand, and he agreed. That made me feel a little better. Like at least Marty would be a little inconvenienced by what he had done, since Marty had majorly inconvenienced me. I took the Amnesiac MacBook home and fixed it overnight, downloaded Mac OS, and installed via USB. I restored Marty's files. I gave him back the laptop the next day. I was still pretty pissed at Marty, but he insisted he needed to talk with me privately. He took me into a room to basically say sorry and ask me not to tell on him next time. I said whatever and left the meeting room because I just wanted him out of my face. When he gave me back the old loaner laptop, he told me he liked it better than his shiny new one and asked if he could keep using it. This slightly angered me further because it was supposed to be a punishment. He wasn't supposed to like it. I had to tell him no because company policy. I'm not giving him an out of warranty laptop. I'm normally an easygoing, forgiving person, but Marty thinking that he was entitled to do my job for me? Unacceptable. Edit. I do agree with many of the commenters that Marty did not deserve any of my time at home, and now, in today's post-pandemic environment, I certainly wouldn't suggest anybody do the same. Back then, taking occasional work home in exchange for being able to leave early, /arrive late, /take half days whenever you want, seemed like a pretty good deal. I was definitely making compensation and perks to make it worthwhile. Back then, just a few years ago, the turn off your phone and email outside of work hours was a bit more of a radical idea than it is now. I think there has been a positive change in general worker culture in a short time, and I hope it can continue despite pushback from managers who want the control that they used to have. Marty. You are in sales, not IT. Let the IT department handle your tech issues. The fact that this guy even gets to work alongside IT is astonishing. Marty sounds like my grandma when I have to help her fix her electronics. When I get there to help her, she's already tried to fix it herself by downloading mysterious software online that's always either A virus, or B, a scam. Grandma. But I love you, Grandma. Fun little unknown fact about me. I used to work at an electronics repair shop back in the day, and the shop was small, so only one employee was there at a time. And the amount of people that would come in and would want to just wait there for the hour or two that it took me to fix their device was astonishing. I'm not sure if it was just the novelty of, gasp, a girl working at a repair shop, but just the fact that I had to be alone with a customer wanting to watch me fix their cell phone for an hour was indeed uncomfortable. Not to mention annoying. Why do some people feel the need to micromanage everything? So, with that being said, I definitely understand why OP lashed out on Marty for being an annoying hoverer. But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this Entitled People story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!